Here's Michael's knife so far. See, I got the finger guard sanded down to the shape that I would like it to. The redwood, or the bloodwood, sorry, is sanded down pretty good. It's all smooth and even with the handle. Now there's still some more sanding to do with the handle. I've only sanded from about my fingers up so far, concentrating on this area here. I still have some minor sanding on here to do, on the bloodwood to do. And here, I'm blending, since there's a V inside here, I'm blending this V into the bloodwood, and it's going to rise up and stop on the top of the finger guard. I'm going to have a V notch there. You see I'm working on that. I also have quite a bit of sanding to do on that, but that's going to look pretty nice. And I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom here. It's not going to be as high, it's not going to be as noticeable. It was blend in this little gap that you see right there. It'll blend in that with the rest of the grooves, the rest of the groove that goes along the handle. And then I'll sand the handle down, blend in the blend in the pin a little better with the handle, sand it down, put a polish on it, put some oil on the wood, sand down the finger guard, get the bluing and discolorization out of that, make it a little bit shinier, and then just kind of do some final touches. So I'm at the final stages now. I'll continue to use my files and my sandpaper and some amp to finish this knife off. Hopefully I might have it done tonight. Alright, now on this part I got that grooved in pretty good. Follows the contour up, comes up to the top, and stops there at the top of the finger guard. Now for this I use my square file. I'm going to use just the tip, and I come and just work it back and forth. Then when I'm done with that, I want to get it pretty close. I'll come back with a needle file, and I got wrap some tape on there just so it doesn't gouge into my hands when I'm using it, make it a little more comfortable. And then I'll come back with a needle file and just kind of work on it more, swinging and keeping my pivot right here, pivoting back and forth. So I'll use some 80 grit sandpaper, and then go in through there and file and smooth this transition out. Smooth your transition out real good. You can see it looks pretty nice. Now obviously I have more sanding to do. This is only 80 grit sandpaper. I'll be taking it down to probably 220 or 300. But on this other side, I had the finger guard in my way, and I'm unable to get my files down inside there to remove the wood. And I could go this way, but even still it's awkward. I'm not going to be able to get in there real well. So what I'm going to be doing on this side is using my Dremel tool with a cone bit and trying to get that out as good as I can. I'm not going to go too crazy on this bottom side. I just want to smooth it out just a little bit. That way it blends in just a little bit so there's not that big huge gap there with all the glue that's dried up. Alright, so here's the notch. So far kind of roughed in. Have more sanding to do, but I did that in a Dremel with that bit and then some sandpaper. That's all I used. Real nice, I think. Looks really nice. It feels nice and smooth. And so now I got some final sanding to do, and then just final shaping of the finger guard. Just sand that down, make that look nice and smooth. Sand out the rest of the bone. Here it is, done. I got it sanded down at 220. I got the finger guard molded in the way that I think it looks kind of cool. I got the top groove sanded and molded in. Bottom groove, same thing. The pins are flush and sanded, and so now I'm going to take it over to the buffer, and I'm going to buff out the finger guard and try to get that a little bit shinier. Alright, well here it is, it's finished. Just got it off the buffing wheel, buffed the handle, buffed the finger guard, and a little buff in the blade. But I wanted to keep that, not a mirror finish. I didn't want a mirror finish on there. You can see there's still some scratches on there because this is going to be a knife that's going to be used. But I did go pretty crazy on the finger guard. Got that polished up really nice. And then of course I polished up the handle really nice as well. So if you're with me before, for the before, what this looked like then, pictures what it looks and like video now, it's of a completely different knife. I'm extremely happy with the finger guard and the metal finger guard rather than brass. I like that metal look. I think it blends in with the blade a lot better. Not as noticeable, but you can still see it. And not that great of a fan of brass. All I gotta do now is do some final strapping. I'm not gonna get this blade super razor sharp. I will get it sharp, and it has a chopping blade on it, or a chopping grind, a convex grind meant for chopping, and a convex grind does not need to be super razor sharp anyhow. And besides, it'll give Michael and his dad something to do when they get the knife. The dad will be able to teach them how to use a stone or a strop and all that, so he'll be able to maintain the sharpness of it. So I don't want to rob that experience from his dad. I'll let him do that. So that's the knife. That's the finished product. That's what it looks like. I'm really happy with this project. Ended up being about 11 inches, a 6-inch blade. I didn't take any blade length away from the original blade. You see the original grind still stops right before the finger guard. That's the way the original blade was, and they went to a full tang design. So I just made the handle a little bit longer. I'm looking forward to putting this online so you guys can. I know you guys have been waiting for a while. It's been quite a few days before I was able to work on this. I've been working on some ironclads in the meantime. So this has kind of just been something I'm working on the side. So I appreciate you guys' patience. Please leave any comments or questions that you might have about this knife, about any of my other knives. Visit my website.